I'm Luke Servell. Welcome to another episode of Meet the Gaffer. We've got another small unit to talk about. It's the Godox MS60R. R for RGB. So in this small form factor, you've got full RGB. There, compare it to the Forza 60C and compare it to the Storm 80C. As you can see, the emitter is smaller. So I'm looking forward to how this performs with a spot mount, with some kind of a projection lens, because often the smaller point gives you, sort of finer detail, but we'll see. As you know, the 60C has intensifier, has a Fresnel, and has a spot mount. Comes with different lenses, 19, 36 degree. The 80C intensifier, Fresnel, and then since they don't have the same mini Bowens, you can get other modifiers that go with their own particular ring, and then hopefully if you have an adapter, like there is one for the 60C, an adapter to regular Bowens, then you can put other modifiers on it. And then just to reiterate, I still have the old style 60C, so it doesn't have internal CRMX, but that is now available in the Series 2. There is internal CRMX in the Storm 80C, and there is internal CRMX in this Godox. And then of course, you can use all these units with their proprietary app. So that's sort of the competition, if you will. What I was sent in exchange for a review was a kit of 4 units. And they come with their stand adapter. It just screws on to the body, and you turn it on, and then you have to sort of unlock it by just rotating the dial, and then you can set CRMX, DMX, color. You can do it manually, or you can run it on blackout. So this is, I'm at the moment running it on the 1200R profiles, and that seems to be working pretty well. So, not a problem with that. And then you can also take off the adapter that goes to mains power. And it comes with a really nice long lead, which I love. But now let's see if I turn it off without turning it off. If I pull the power, and that would be like that, and put on the battery, and it says to unlock, I unlock, and I have power again. So, in this sort of compact state, you've got a pretty powerful unit that has a simple battery swap for the AC power. I'm going to leave it to Andrew Locke and Gaffer and Gear to give you all the specs on color. I believe it is RGB WW, so it hasn't gone the RGB ACL or the way Aperture is going with their new Storm units. But I'll show you how the color compares just by going around the color wheel with the other units. In an RGB WW or RGBW colorscape, there are certain colors that are very narrow. Like if you blink, you'll miss them. So that's true. And of course, I didn't get the synchronization of my finger around the color wheel exactly right, but it's close and gives you an idea. What you do get is a lot of modifiers. You don't get the sort of standard intensifier, but you get, for instance, it just comes with sort of a spot, which is kind of a fixed spot. That's kind of like an intensifier in a sense. And to add onto this, you can put some doors, and they just clip on. I mean, they snap on with magnets. And you can also put this sort of snoot on this, so you make it even tighter. Just kind of a little rubber snoot. And then on the front of this, I believe, this you could put different fronts that have sort of a sculpting. It's like OptiSculpt. So that's, see, that's a little narrower. Here's kind of a list of what the different things are. That kind of broadens everything out. But there are many of them. Oh, and there's sort of a square. Yeah. So just in a simple front-mounted filter. Okay, so that's it for that. And then if you put on the Fresnel, so a little focusing Fresnel, it's 15 to 30 degrees. And then on this, you can put this 5-degree, what they call parallel beam adapter. And I would go to its widest mode and then put this on, and it has a nice little lock. And now you get a very focused beam at a long distance. So that sort of parallel beam thing. So nice for, you know, small CRLS. And if you take this off and go back to this adapter, now you can put, you take this adapter and you snap it on here. So I put the fixed side in first and then push it to the clickable side. You have to give it pretty good push, and then it will go on to the mini bones. And it's a little tight, but it does work. So here we go. Okay. And I've got one above and one below. This one's on the warmer side. But man, it's you know, pretty slick. And it actually comes down a little bit too. You can have that. You could even punch that in, but then I think it gets probably too hot because it gets too close to the source. But a nice diffuser. And then also here I went to the battery. Pop that off, even though it's hot. And we go back to our mains power, and you have to unlock it. All right. And now if I pulled mains and I put in this adapter, now I could plug it into a socket or a hanging socket or into a paper lantern perhaps, and now you could have that unit quite quickly and quite small into another situation. So many different possibilities, and there's a little unlock there as well. Yeah, just a lot of different configurations, and I'm looking forward to the projection lens. Because there are 4 units, I could play around a little bit. Here I'm showing you sort of a top center key, and then if I go to the Octa, here's the transition. And then I have the edge light coming from another unit into the square softbox. Now I'd like to show you a brief comparison of two of the attachments that are similar to what is available on comparable units. First, the single degree modifier, intensifier, cone, lens reflector, whatever you want to call it. And then a variable degree lensed modifier, which is typically a Fresnel, but can be a spherical lensed system like the Datolite or Aperture 60X. Remember, this is a very small unit that fits in the palm of your hand, has internal CRMX, HSI, XY, and FX modes, runs easily off a battery, and has modifiers of every kind. In conclusion, pretty impressive. I mean, in that small of a form factor, they've definitely done a lot of thinking of, putting all this stuff together. And yeah, you've got a lot of variety here. I'm looking forward to the projection lens. I would like to have some barn doors that go with the Fresnel, but I can see this being used in a number of different ways that will come in very handy. So yeah, it's fun to be at this juncture where we've got so many units of similar size that are all sort of vying for our attention. And with any luck, that competition gives us wonderful tools. So here's to competition. Here's to the newest light on the block. And thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time. Here are the kits. It comes in two cases. The first case has the regular units with the lens reflector on and the stand adapter. And look at this, not just 4 batteries, but 8 batteries. Yeah, that's pretty slick. So there they are, all very compactly put together. And then you've got the head leads. And it's nice you don't have to have another brick, that's attached to it. And there are the socket adapters, and then we've got some cables for charging up the batteries, some USB-C. And then here, some more modifiers. First, we got the collapsible diffusion domes. Nice, 2 of those. And then the parallel beam boosters. 2 of those. And then we've got the sort of zoom lenses, 15 to 30 degrees. And then we have all the other filters. So 2 stacks of those. And there they are. So all the different, even a tilt shift there. And then underneath that row, there are 2 of those hard domes. And then above there, you've got 2 pockets, one with the rectangular softbox, 1 by 1. And then there's a snoot, rubber snoot. There's 2 of those, and there's 2 of the barn doors. And then you've also got the other softbox, which is a parabolic or an octadome. And then you got another set of doors and a snoot. Plenty of options.